How many people ever heard of the term, what doesn't kill me only makes me stronger? The purpose for our suffering was not to destroy us, but to make us stronger, to prove us, to build us to be a nation that would be unstoppable. All the suffering you went through was to temper you and to refine you as gold and silver is refined in the fire, as we have been chastened through the fires of adversity. So right now, it's not a time for us to drown in our sorrows, but to look back and understand that despite everything that's been thrown at us, we still exist. And that existence is due partly to our strength, but mostly to the one that gave us that strength, the Most High. Divine intervention that preserves us. The Most High has taken the weak and made them strong. As the scripture says, don't despise the chastening of the Most High, for he chastens those that he loves. Now, if you're a father and you chasten your son, is it just purely to punish him, or is it that he learned from his mistakes? Is it just that he suffer, or is it that he becomes stronger through learning what his mistake was? What's your thoughts on that, brother?
My thoughts are similar to yours on that, brother. What I see is that it's actually the restoration back to your rightful place on this earth. You as a people know in your spirit that you have a responsibility. If you look at our people, we are a righteous people. There's no doubt about that. We think about others before we think about ourselves, but it's time for us to start thinking about ourselves, because the creator of this universe is actually restoring us back to our rightful place on the earth. And it's as simple as that. We're being refined and continuing to be refined for this time. Just like where the scripture talks about the prodigal son. The prodigal son left, and when he came back to his father, what happened? He came back to his father. His father didn't kick him in the face. What did his father do? Restored him. And that's what the Creator is doing for us right now. He is restoring us. Matter of fact, he has restored us.
He has restored us. And when you look back, before all these things happened to our people, it's evident that the Most High had good intentions, the best intentions for our people. He gave you a problem. He said, I sit before you life and death. And then he gave you the answer to it. He said, choose life. But we chose death. Our forefathers chose death. And they chose that same thing for us. And we continue to make the same choice when we continue it in the same vein that our forefathers followed. When we continue in the vein that our enemies put before us, to hate one another, to scorn one another, to come against each other before the faces of our enemies and plead to the enemy. We look at each other with anger in our eyes, and we put our head down before the face of the enemy. We call our brothers niggers and all kinds of bywords, and then we sit up in the courtroom and we call the enemy your honor. But there's no honor in that. There's no honor in lifting up your enemy and putting down the same brother that's destroyed the same way you are. How do we stand up as a people?
Well, I can tell you, right now, you have a chance to choose to willingly be blessed according to what's written. You have a choice in the matter. And so because you have a choice, how do you make that choice? And how do you choose to do the right thing? Well, where's our strength at? Our strength is in righteousness. And the Creator is righteous. And He gave us the tools on how to be righteous. So right now it's time to come together under the idea that our Creator is righteous and He is calling us back to righteousness. We do that and the blessings will accompany that. It's just that simple. You do what He wrote. You can accept the curses because you didn't do what He said, asked you to do. Now, if you're doing what He asked you to do, then you should be able to accept the blessings, right? I mean, does that make sense, brother? What?
It makes perfect sense.
Okay, so then we should get in our mind that, okay, we should accept the blessings that accompany that. But I have a question, though, because for this time He said, gather thyself, O nation, not desire. However, I have a question. What does gather mean? What does that mean?
It means come together.
Okay, that's
means unite.
That's good. I'm gonna actually look up the dictionary, because the dictionary does say that. It says come together, assemble, or accumulate. It also says congregate, convene, assemble, meet, collect, muster, rally, and converge. 2 says bring together and take in from scattered places or sources. Accumulate, amass, assemble, garner. And so think about what he was saying there, what was saying there in that particular precept when it says gather thyself together. When you already know you're Israelite, right? So what are you gathering for? What's the point in gathering? We need to start thinking about that. Why are you gathering? What are you trying to do? Are you just gathering to learn that you're an Israelite, read precepts? Or is there something more?
There has to be something more. There has to be the nation. It's time to put away petty things. Stop thinking like children and think like men. As the scripture says, when I became a man, I put childish things behind me.
That's right.
What does a man want? What do men want? What should we want? We should want domination, rulership, because that's the only thing that will secure our children and our wives' future. That they be safe.
That's right. That's right. And then if you look at Zechariah 13:9, that actually builds upon that, because we have been refined as silver. Everyone in the book was looking forward to the time that we live in right now. They would always talk about it. The apostles were like, when are you going to return? Is it like, here, there, or when? But the bottom line is this. If everyone in the book was looking at the current day, wanting to be a part of this time, that means that this is a glorious time. Different religions and philosophies have taught you that you should be dreading this time. No. The earth should be dreading this time, and your enemies, according to Psalms 83, they should be dreading this time. We should be looking forward to this time. This is a glorious time, because you know what it is? What you're going to see is you're going to see the true birth and rise of a nation. Is that not glorious? That you finally figured it out, and you finally come together as a nation and start building? Really?
We want you to keep these words in mind. That the Most High said, stand up, O Jerusalem. I've said this before, and I've quoted this scripture before. The Most High says, stand up, Jerusalem, that has drinking the dregs of the cup of His fury. He's talking to Israelites. He's talking to our people today to stand up. But remember, Mashiach said, a house divided cannot stand. And that lies the purpose that we must unite in order to do what the Most High told us to do. If we continue in the same vein as our fathers in pride, the Most High will resist us.
This is what I got to say, brother. Everybody within earshot of this particular video, look in the mirror and ask yourself this question. Knowing that the enemy is now under judgment and we no longer have the cup in our hands, what should we be doing at this time? Look in the mirror and ask yourself that, because you already know the answer. What should I be doing at this time, right now, today?
Also ask yourself this when you're looking in the mirror. Do I really want to be an Israelite? Am I really prepared to prove that I want to be an Israelite? The scripture says the righteous are as bold as a lion.
That's right.
This is not the time to denounce who you are. This is not the time to hide who you are. This is not the time to pander or explain to your enemies who you are.
Can I say something? Let me interrupt you, bro. This is also not the time to be cooning, be kissing nobody's ass, to be running up behind somebody, because quite frankly, you don't need nobody. Continue.
You don't need nobody. So when you looking in the mirror, ask yourself, am I really ready to show that I'm an Israelite? Because being an Israelite goes far beyond street teaching.
That's right.
It goes far beyond being a camp. We're talking about raising up men that's ready to war. We're talking about raising up a nation that'll be on par with all nations.
That's right. It's according to the book.
We're talking about a people that when other nations look to us, they look in dread and fear.
That's right. That's right. Not only do they look in dread and fear, they're going to be in astonishment and amazed when they finally do look at this nation, and they're going to be like, wow, these people, they done turned this thing around like so fast, it's ridiculous. How did they do it? Like how they looked at Mashiach. What manner of man is this? Huh? That's how you got to be thinking. Mashiach said, greater works than these ye shall do. What was he talking about? And who was he talking to? You should be asking, you should look at it and say, well, he was talking to me specifically when he said that, right? He was looking at me, talking to me specifically. So that means that, oh, well, maybe I got some greater works in me then.
You do. We all do.
That's right.
We have an immense strength in us. We are virtually unstoppable.
That's right.
Look at what we've been through. If that doesn't define our strength, the purpose of us going through these things, you wonder why these heathen look at you in such hatred. They use their hatred to hide their fear.
That's right. That's right.
Who can go through what you went through? What our nation gone through and still exists? What can they do to stop us?
Nothing.
Their fear is your awakening.
That's
and
right.
Understanding that they can't stop you.
There's been a table and a banquet set up with food on it. Everybody been eating but you. You've been standing around just looking at the banquet. There's a game that's being played in the stadium right now. All other nations are playing in it. You're not even in the stand, even in the stadium. Why? It's because you have refused to get into the game. And I understand why, because of what happened to you. However, now you need to change your mind. According to what the books say, renewing of your mind. Change your mind to the fact that, hey, everybody else get to eat. How come I'm not eating? Everybody else playing that game over there. How come I'm not playing? Forget about asking yourself that. You shouldn't have to ask yourself. Why would you ask your enemy, can you go eat? Huh? That don't make sense to me. Because your enemy, and if you go to Psalms 83, everybody's your enemy, but that's a different conversation. Your enemy don't care if you eat or not. Matter of fact, your enemy is so scared of you, he wants you to die.
Mm-hmm.
So because he wants you to die, he not going to tell you to eat. No, he going to put all these obstacles in your mind in front of you so that you don't think about eating. So you don't think about this nation.
And our suggestion is this. Don't play games. Don't play games with others. Don't play games with yourself. All this stupid debating. We're so bold, right? We're so bold. Oh, I'm a man of the Most High. I keep the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. A man that keeps the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments is unstoppable. That means you can stand before your enemies and take whatever you want.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Somewhere in the book it says, the creator says, I will yet choose Israel.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean to you?
Are you?
Exactly.
Are you the one he chose?
After all that we've gone through, he has not forgotten what he said to us. It's time that all of you that have reclaimed your heritage to stand up and start getting busy. But here's the question though, bro. Getting busy, but busy doing what? The Most High gave you carte blanche right now to get busy with the structure of his commandments. So what are you waiting for? He gave you the structure. He said, okay, I'm going to give you this and I'm going to give you these commandments. You operate within these commandments, then you're going to get this.
Busy building your nation.
So what you waiting
petty
for?
things aside.
What are you waiting for?
I've never seen a debate come out at the end with two people agreeing. So with that being said, religion is worthless. Debating is worthless. Doctrines of men is worthless.
It's of no value.
The Most High's law is the truth.
That's right.
The Most High gave us the 10 Commandments to ensure civility amongst each other, that we can trust each other. Anything other than that is worthless.
That's right.
It's just cause for division.
Yeah.
A house divided cannot stand.
A debate. Instead of debating the brother, I ask a brother, hey brother, what have you built today? What brother have you linked up with and you built something tangible? Huh? Would Mashiach rather that you, or with the Creator rather that you build something with a brother? As he said, gather thyself, O nation not desired, or would he want you debating this brother and then getting spun around the axle about you talking about you an Israelite? We're past that point now.
What widow have you helped?
Huh?
What orphan have you helped?
Huh?
What brother in prison have you visited? But we waste time debating one another on the same forums that our enemies watch us and use our divisions and spread it amongst each other. We have a problem. We call each other all kinds of names. You ain't this and you ain't that. Oh, I'm a man of the Most High. You keep the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. Then go stand before the enemy.
That's right.
And tell them that.
That's right.
Because you're playing games.
You know what? They playing the wrong game though. Israel, it's time to get into the game. Israel, I'm talking to you. It's time to get into the game. You guys say you a nation. We say we a nation. Prove it. The Most High about to show and prove right now on earth who his people is.
This is the greatest opportunity you'll have.
That's right.
The Most High is lifting the curse off of us, and you have full reign to use that energy that you say you have to its full potential.
Hey, bro, listen. I liken that to having carte blanche to do whatever you want in the framework of the commandments. What does that mean? Does that mean I can go out and sin? Absolutely not.
Absolutely
God
not.
forbid. But at the same time, can I build with impunity?
Yes, you can.
Oh, okay. So that's what I'm talking about. Israel, wake up, get in the game.
Get in the game.